Hello and welcome to Sonoma in Northern California. This has been one of the most anticipated airports for me for several reasons. Unfortunately for my first flight, clouds. Now if you see stutters here, it's most likely SGSS. I had it enabled and the clouds really did a number on it. However, there were some really nice views. Northern California, from a quality of textures and terrain perspective, is probably my favorite FTX region. Now, for personal reasons, I prefer Pacific Northwest for the locations, but NorCal is years newer than PNW, and the experience gained in the scenery development is evident. Trying again later, I got much clearer weather. The first thing I did was head out to Mount St. Helena because the preview screenshots looked really great there. Now as you can see, it looks really great on video too. This does appear to be standard photo scenery over mesh like you would find at Sedona, and like Sedona, also very well done. It is a little odd having a detailed photo scenery area detached from the rest of the scenery, but I'll take it. It's definitely along the lines of Sequim, which included distant Olympic mountaintops. In fact, you'll see as we come around, the best views were saved for last. As I was leaving the mountain to head back to Sonoma, there appears to be a nice overhang, which the photo scenery does a great job of illusion with. Now KSTS is actually pretty good as a default airport in NorCal, but as usual, after seeing the upgraded airport product, it'll never be the same. Since I've been flying and making drone videos, the payware airport add-ons have kind of taken on a new importance for me, because even though they can't match 4K aerial video of real terrain, they do come the closest. Of course, one of the main attractions for this part of California is the vineyards, and this also plays into what I've spoken about before, about the strengths and weaknesses of photo imagery in flight sim. Water textures and shorelines are very well suited to photo imagery, But also, if you move further inland, any flat, open area with surface detail looks great too. So a lot of value added can be had with photo imagery for airport grounds and agricultural fields. Vineyards are a little more three-dimensional than many other types of crops because the vine rows are usually pretty well spaced and can be fairly tall, therefore less of a uniform surface compared to, say, a wheat field. The photo imagery still works there unless one is really buzzing the vines. As an aside, my favorite California wines happen to be from Sonoma and the Russian River Valley, rather than Napa, so this airport is especially on target. As far as performance goes, it is pretty good. I disabled a couple of items, like terminal interiors and most of the people flow, but just about everything else was checked. I struggled in places with heavy clouds, and to be honest, MSAA may be good enough to fly with, but it's not really good enough to present videos on YouTube with. And SGSS 4X really was hit hard in places by the clouds. Things were much better in the clearer weather, and I actually bumped up my frame lock from 30 to 36. Now, on final approach, you'll see some stutters that's actually not from the scenery, but from the Comanche itself. I've discovered that every time I pull back the throttle on approach, frames drop and stutters commence, even in very remote areas. I believe it has something to do with the airplane's smoke effects and is being worked on by A2A. Well, hats off to Misha Cajic for another great airport. And if you liked what you saw in this video, please hit like and by all means subscribe. Later.